Hi, today I'm going to demystify original sin and I'm going to put it in a context that I can guarantee you've never heard before. So enjoy.
Hey, hello there! It'll be alright, little fella. Let's go explore! What do we got here?
God made the universe and it was good. Then God created human in the image of God. Adam and Eve lived in harmony with God in a paradise called Eden. God told them they could eat from all the other trees, but not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or they would die. Adam and Eve were tempted and ate the apple from the forbidden tree. Once they ate that fruit, they knew what was good and what was bad. They noticed they were naked bodies, felt shame, and covered up. This was the first sin, and they say we've inherited this sin, and that's why there's pain and suffering in this world. So what's this story really about? Is it A, disobedience, B, sex, C, knowledge, or D, dietary advice? If you chose knowledge, you are correcto. The Adam and Eve story is about what we used to know, which gave us great peace, until we gave in and started looking at things as either good or evil, which turned everything chaotic. So before I retell the story within this context, I'm going to talk about why knowledge, specifically the knowledge of good and evil, is a problem for us. Knowledge. So what you know determines your beliefs, and what you believe will determine what you see and how you react. And because everyone believes different things, what offends one doesn't offend another. For example, your partner farts. Person A will judge it as bad, call them disgusting, rude, disrespectful, and claim the romance is gone. Person B will laugh, join in, and see it as a sign of closeness and trust. Funny thing about beliefs, though, is that your mind will seek information that confirms them. So if you think something or someone is bad, you'll find information to support that. If you think something or someone is good, you'll find information to support that too. There's a term for this: confirmation bias. I repeat, confirmation bias. Why is this confirmation bias so important? Because it lets you create your own reality. You can create your own heaven or hell, bringing yourself chaos or peace. For example, let's say this person lost an arm or two. If they believe things that make them see it as bad, they will feel pain, loss, tragedy, evil, wallow in anger and hatred, and never accept the fact that a physical part of themselves is gone. But if they believe that the universe is good and things happen for a reason, guess what? Confirmation bias says their minds will find things to support that. Those that will find their accident to be a blessing and feel joy and do not focus on the physical loss of their arm. Examples of these people: Bethany Hamilton, a professional surfer who lost an arm in a shark attack and is the inspiration for the movie Soul Surfer. And Bartosz Ostalowski, I butchered his name, who lost both arms in a motorcycle accident but has become a professional drifter. These are clear examples that it's not what happens to you that makes you happy or unhappy. It's how you evaluate it and then act on it. See it as a tragedy, then you'll feel it as one. See it as a blessing, then you'll feel it as one too. The creation story shows us how we find our paradise or lose it. So without further ado, here is the creation story repeated, but in a different context. So, Adam and Eve weren't aware of good and evil before. Why? Well, the answer is in the first statement. Because God created the universe and it was good. Good as in harmonious, orderly, consistent, with all the pieces fitting together. Unlike some IKEA furniture, am I right? There were no definitions of evil, and they knew this. What else did they know? The answer is in that second statement. They were created in the image of God. God is energy, love. So the body was only an expression of that energy. Energy first, body second. What made it paradise, though? Well, our thoughts matched the energy that created us. All was good, all was connected. What could kick us out of this state of paradise? Starting to think that all wasn't good, that all wasn't connected. Thus forgetting what we were. So, I'm a hero and you are a villain, for example. So God tries to warn them, you go ahead, learn about all the other things, aka eat from all the other trees, but don't start learning to see things as good or evil, aka eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, because if you do that, your understanding of yourself as only good and light and love, and an extension of me, will die. disappear. So why were they tempted? Well, they were in a body. Floating orbs were now able to taste chocolate or enjoy the furry goodness of kitties. Oh, kitties, kitties, kitties. I mean, how can I not label these things as pleasurable? And say, label painful things like stubbing my toe or losing something I'm attached to as bad? So the longer they stayed in the physical dimension, the more they were tempted. Eventually, they ate from that forbidden tree. So what happened after they ate from that tree? What happened once they started accepting good versus evil as a reality? Judgment, guilt, shame, and bodies came first. And that's why they noticed they were naked and covered up. Body and clothing became their identity. Their energy/spirit came second. And ever since then, we've been perceiving pain and suffering, focusing on whatever makes the body mean something and makes the body valuable. Sound familiar? Is this not how we live today? Is this not what we're born into? Taught to do the second we pop out onto this earth? So I'm going to draw this tree. Here we have the roots. These are agents of socialization, people who shape our understanding of ourselves and the world, parents, teachers, religious figures, etc., etc. And then the branches, they are the topics that we're given information on. God, medicine, body, identity, sex, money, career, power, love. Anything can be put on this, even rules of behavior. So we are trained to see what is of value and what to strive for. That's how we're trained to behave. When you're good, you're rewarded and you get love. You're worth it. But when you're bad, you're punished. Love is taken away and you're worthless. In this system, we're always trying to stay on the good side, even to the point of getting addicted to things we think are going to keep us there. Make us a somebody. And if we find ourselves on the bad side, well, we lie, we blame, avoid responsibility. So, if you're happy with how things are going with you, then by all means ignore this message. But if you've got some kind of angst going on, if you're experiencing things like anger, hate, jealousy, addiction, depression, conflict, just take a moment to look at the tree, folks. See what part is actually affecting you and unlearn. Take that leap of faith. Open your mind to the idea of oneness, and you might just be surprised at what you find. So that's my take on original sin. It's a guidance story, one that is relevant today. Choose your mindset and let the confirmation bias work it out. Will you choose the Discovery Channel mindset of exploration and putting things together like a piece of a puzzle? Or will you choose the Jerry Springer Show mindset, the mindset of drama, of villains and heroes? I can tell you this, the level of peace and joy you experience in this life will reflect how long you've spent on each channel.